73 years, the AT&T Cotton Bowl has been an institution in college football. But today, a new era begins as this New Year's Bowl game moves to the stunning edifice of Cowboys Stadium. Victorious a year ago, the Ole Miss Rebels returned to North Texas, aiming to repeat in the Cotton Bowl.
And he gives it to McClusker. Dexter breaks the tackle, heads to the sidelines on a drop step. He's down the sidelines to the 40, to the 35. He needs a block. He's got two in front of him. He angles back to the 15. He's to the 10. He's to the 5. Touchdown!
The Oklahoma State Cowboys produced one of the best seasons in school history.
Breaks a tackle to the 40. Bounces to the outside, 35-30, 25-20. They go all the way.
This senior-dominated team can today match the OSU record for wins in a season.
Bounces to the outside to the 40. Down the left sideline to midfield. Going across the field.
To the 30, 35, 40, down the sidelines. He's gone! He's gone!
Ole Miss and Oklahoma State, two of the SEC and Big 12 elite, square off as the historic AT&T Cotton Bowl starts a new chapter in its celebrated history.
And welcome and Happy New Year to the 74th Cotton Bowl in a new venue this year, the Cowboys Stadium. And this is a place like none other. If you haven't seen it, you should. Darryl, let's talk about Oklahoma State first. What do you expect from them?
Well, I really think it all depends on how Oklahoma State comes out and runs the football. And Zach Robinson is the quarterback, but it's not just passing the ball. He's going to lead that rushing attack. And for the first time since mid-September, he's got his two healthy running backs behind him, Keith Toston and Kendall Hunter, back in the fold. And don't forget, in the last game of the season, Mississippi State, in an option-based running attack, put up over 300 yards against Ole Miss. Oklahoma State carries some option in their offense.
Houston Nutt, the Ole Miss coach, believes in establishing the running game, and he has the tools to do it.
Well, you heard Krista talk about him. He is a firecracker, and he is a lot of fun to watch. That's Dexter McClusker. Now, they want to get him the ball at least 20 times during the course of the game. That will be out of the traditional running back spot. He'll be split outside wide and some bubble screens. But the big question is with the suspension of Parrish Cox and Broderick Brown, a redshirt freshman, filling in, how long does it take before they go to Shea Hodge, their big play receiver on the outside? I think offensive coordinator Ken Austin will let Jevan Snead, the quarterback, get comfortable, hand the ball off to Dexter McClusker, and it won't take him long to come after Shea Hodge.
And from the roar of the crowd, I think you can anticipate, and we can anticipate, the arrival of Oklahoma State. Orange pants, white jerseys, white helmets. They had high hopes at the beginning of this year. Both teams did, in fact. In fact, they were picked in all the polls among the leaders in the country. Didn't quite turn out that way, but good teams nevertheless. And here comes Ole Miss. They beat Texas Tech here last year. Not here in this stadium, but in the AT&T Cotton Bowl. The start of the contest between Oklahoma State and Ole Miss coming up. We'll be back after these messages. Krista Voda is with the Oklahoma State coach, Mike Gundy. Krista?
Well, Ole Miss coach has size and speed. How do you guys counter? What's your game plan?
Well, we've been working on it for 5 weeks, and our guys can run a little bit, and we're looking forward to competing against them. Our guys have prepared. They've worked very hard in all 3 phases, and we think we got great game plans.
How do you adjust your plan defensively with the loss of Cox?
Well, we've got guys that have been working all year, you know, and obviously Parrish is a good football player, but we're going to play without him today, and we expect those guys to step up and make plays.
Good luck, Coach.
Here is the Oklahoma State quarterback, Zach Robinson.
I really think that he's going to be one of the keys today, Pat. Not just throwing the football, but his ability to run the option. He's accounted for over 10,000 yards in his career at Oklahoma State. And very similar to Jevan Snead, look for this Oklahoma State team to get into a rhythm based on how he's playing. I really feel that whichever quarterback gets off to the best start is going to follow that momentum all the way through the game.
You know, you mentioned a minute ago that Mississippi State against Ole Miss in the season finale featured the option play, so they expect to see that from Oklahoma.
Yeah, their defense is going to have to step up and slow that down, and they're going to have Jevan Snead, the quarterback, also get into a good rhythm. And we'll wait and see. You heard Mike Gundy talk about, it's unfortunate that we don't have Parrish Brown with us. Their philosophy all season has been next man. When somebody goes down, there's somebody behind him to step up. But they're going to draw a tough assignment today, trying to slow down Shea Hodge on the outside.
Oklahoma State will kick off. Wind won't be a factor. The temperature is perfect. Everything is perfect in this place. Cowboys Stadium hosting its first AT&T Cotton Bowl. Short kick. Rodney Scott handled it, and Ole Miss will have the ball first. Jevan Snead from nearby Dallas, not too far from home. There the quarterback, Jevan Snead, and the rest of the offensive backs and receivers for.
We put Dexter McClusker down as an athlete on that starting lineup. That's because you're going to see him spread throughout the formation for Ole Miss.
That lineup brought to you by Merrill Lynch. Here is the defense for Oklahoma State. Merrill Lynch Wealth Management brings you this starting lineup.
There's that defensive front up there that's going to have to slow down this offense. I really like the linebackers. Donald Booker's done a great job filling in for Ori Lemon, who was lost before the season started. And there he is, Broderick Brown, the man of the hour, filling in for Parrish Cox.
Dexter McClusker. First down, Ole Miss.
Dexter McClusker is going to get his touches during the course of the game today. They would like to get him the ball 20 times, perhaps even more than that. But what Oklahoma State has said is when Dexter McClusker carries the ball, we're not going to let him get out of bounds on the sideline. We're going to make sure each time he touches it, he takes a hit.
Play him outside in. Everything toward the center of the field. Snead throwing deep and overthrowing Markeith Summers. Closed captioning for today's game is brought to you by AT&T.
Well, it didn't take long. Jevan Snead on that play action to Dexter McClusker, and let's find out if Broderick Brown is ready to play. And guess what? Markeith Summers was beyond him. Jevan Snead missed a touchdown throw there.
Second down and 10. Four-man defensive front. Here's McClusker straight ahead. Good yardage, about half of enough for the first down.
And what they're doing right now is they are taking Jesse Grandy, number 10, and motioning him across the formation with Dexter McClusker in the backfield. Now you've got two extremely fast players that can put pressure on your edge defensively. If you slide out to protect the outside with Jesse Grandy, we're going to sneak the ball inside to Dexter McClusker.
Mass substitutes for Ole Miss as they put in what appears to be a passing unit. Houston Nutt, we said, prefers to run the ball, but this is dictated to throw it. Snead high over the head of Jesse Grandy.
And that's what we talk about, getting Jevan Snead into a rhythm. He had Markeith Summers beyond Broderick Brown earlier in this drive, missed a shot for a big play early in the game, and right there he's got Jesse Grandy out in space, wide open. Get him the ball in an area where he can catch it, and then let him use his feet to try and run for the first down.
Tyler Campbell back to punt. Josh Cooper is standing about the 12-yard line for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Good punt. Line drive, tight punt, and a lot of room and a good return. 0-0 score. Lamar Brakefield.
We've talked about the adversity that this Oklahoma State team has had to overcome. Preseason All-American Kendall Hunter lost. Keith Toston steps in for him. And then the suspension of Des Bryant. What are we going to do on the outside? Hubert Anyum has stepped up huge. So the philosophy of Mike Gundy, and without Parrish Cox today, has been the same throughout the entire season. Next man, something happens, whether it's an injury, suspension, whatever the issues are, we've got guys behind them. We expect them to step up, be the next man to take the field and play well.
We expect a hurry-up approach from Oklahoma State. They want to get in and get out and get things happening pretty quickly. No huddle on this first one. Toston. The Merrill Lynch Wealth Management starting offensive lineup for Oklahoma State.
And it all starts with quarterback Zach Robinson, even in the running game. And there they are, Keith Toston. And coming up, it's going to be Kendall Hunter in the backfield with him. You saw that. That's a traditional one-back set by this Oklahoma State team. They use that throughout the year, but with both of these guys healthy for the first time since mid-September, they'll both be on the field together, as we saw in that opening snap.
That ought to be something to see. 2nd and 8. Zach Robinson back to throw it. Pressure. The Merrill Lynch Wealth Management starting defensive lineup for Ole Miss.
And this is a big front seven for Ole Miss, one of the bigger ones that Oklahoma State has faced. That's why you're going to see some hurry-up offense. You're going to see some screens. They're going to try and get those big linemen to run around, get them tired out during the course of the game.
They are big, no question about it. 3rd down for Oklahoma State. They need 8 for a first. Zach Robinson blitzed by Oklahoma State. Pass complete, but not enough for first down. Josh Cooper made the reception.
One of the challenges for Oklahoma State in their season finale against the Oklahoma Sooners was getting off the line of scrimmage in the passing game. We saw right there kind of a little tester early in the game. We'll put a bunch package up to the top of the screen. Let's see what Ole Miss is going to do. This is always that feeling out process at the beginning of the game.
The punter is Quinn Sharp. Back deep is Marseille Green. Really an Oklahoma State bounce. The bands from both Oklahoma State and Ole Miss on hand, and a packed house.
We'll take a look now at the Home Depot tools to victory for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Keep McClusker off the edge. You heard Pat talk about it. They're going to try and play everything from outside in, force him back into the flow. And for Ole Miss, assignment true versus the option. They really got hurt versus Mississippi State in the last game, and we've already seen a little bit of option from Oklahoma State this afternoon.
McClusker. Snead faked a pass and dropped it off on a draw play. Dexter McClusker, 170 pounds. The last time he cut his hair, he says, was 5 years ago.
170 pounds after lunch.
After lunch.
After lunch.
Second down and 8. Snead to McClusker. First down, Ole Miss.
And this is one of the questions we had when you line up Dexter McClusker in the backfield, and he breaks. Now he's going to break out of the backfield. Watch 22. Who's going to pick him up? Patrick Levine, number 4, the linebacker, is going to slide with him. That's an absolute mismatch. Watch how quick his feet are. It's not a criticism of Patrick Levine. It's really a celebration of how good Dexter McClusker is.
And how quick he is. Oklahoma State nothing, Ole Miss nothing. There is the magic man, Dexter McClusker. What numbers he's put together. First player in Southeastern Conference history with 1,000 rushing yards and 500 receiving yards.
I tell you, that's quite an accomplishment.
Yep.
You think of Herschel Walker, Bo Jackson that played in the SEC. Also shows you kind of how this game has changed. You know, you're going to be asked as a running back to be a pass receiver too.
Jamie Blatnick put the pressure on Jevan Snead. And Snead was lucky to get rid of it, or maybe he wasn't.
That's what happens when you got two guys blocking one defender. That means one of the guys is free to your quarterback.
Snead very durable. And he needed to be after that last hit.
There's your other speedy guy on the edge.
Jesse Grandy.
Here's one of the things.
Excuse me.
Well, here's what they talked about, Pat, when we met with him is Dexter McClusker going one way and Jesse Grandy going back the other way. Now it's speed on both edges. And we talked about keeping Dexter McClusker off the edge, but they've got a little package where if you're worried about that a lot, watch 22 go to the left, and then here comes 10 coming back to the right. Now you got speed on the opposite edge.
Jevan Snead, pass is intercepted by Lucian Antoine. And Oklahoma State takes over. Snead is down and hurt.
Oh boy, did he get hit hard by Markel Martin, Pat. He's hustling over to make a tackle. Nothing dirty, just a good, clean, hard hit. But here's great hand-to-eye coordination. Again, we're a little bit high and off target to Shea Hodge. Nope, you know what? That's on Shea Hodge. Make that catch. Jevan Snead put that for you. You let it go through your hands. Now Lucian Antoine has the ball. Watch Jevan Snead.
Whoa.
He's hustling, and it's a peel back by Markel Martin. Watch this. Head across the chest. It wasn't cheap. And that one's on Shea Hodge. Shea Hodge has got to make that catch. It goes through his hands. Lucian Antoine is bringing it back, but Jevan Snead is hustling, and he just took a huge hit from Markel Martin.
Good effort by Kendall Hunter. He was supposed to be the superstar coming into this season, but injuries and the arrival of Keith Toston has sort of set that back a little bit.
Well, he battled that ankle foot injury all year long and was finally able to get back into the lineup late in the season. Now they've got Keith Toston and Kendall Hunter healthy, and that's a pretty dynamic combination in the backfield.
Yes, it is. Zach Robinson on the option. And this is Kendall Hunter again. Near first down yardage, maybe got it.
It sure did take him a long time to get to this. I would have gotten to it a little bit quicker. Let's see how Ole Miss did with these 5 weeks to get ready. Jonathan Cornell, their inside linebacker, down on that, but I would have liked to have tested their assignments versus the option after they struggled against Mississippi State.
Fumble in the backfield. Keith Toston, I'm not sure if they knew the quarterback was under center or what happened.
Didn't seem like it ever got off the ground, did it, Pat?
Went right through the quarterback's hands.
It's been a game of missed opportunities up until this point. You go from a fourth down or third and inches, now you're fourth and almost 6. Well, I think that, you know, Oklahoma State, they're just trying to get some extra yardage to execute this punt to try and get it down deep in Ole Miss territory. You know, Houston Nutt just say, you know what, we're not going to take that 5. We're going to make you punt it from where you were.
High hanging kick. Marche Green signals fair catch at about the 14. That's where Ole Miss will take. It'll be interesting to see who that quarterback is. Looks like we'll have a new quarterback. In fact, we do have a new quarterback for the Ole Miss Rebels. Nathan Stanley has replaced Jevan Snead. Snead on that intercepted pass, was trying to make a tackle and got decleated.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Hustling over down. Nathan Stanley, a true freshman. 9 of 16 for 160 yards and 1 touchdown through the course of the season.
Dexter McClusker. And you're not going to catch him, I don't think. Maybe you will.
No, you won't.
I don't think so.
Wow.
McClusker on Nathan Stanley's first play.
I think immediately you go to, when you lose a guy like Parrish Cox at the cornerback position, automatically you think about the passing game. But he also is a key element in run support. And Pat, you mentioned it before. They want to keep Dexter McClusker inside. It's an outside-in principle. And he has been on the edge quickly twice today. That one to the house for 6.
Joshua Sheen after the 86-yard run by Dexter McClusker. He is exciting. The extra point is good. And it's 7-0.
You come into a game and there's something that you want to accomplish, but you have to go out and execute it. And right now, this Oklahoma State defense is not getting the job done. I mean, everybody knew coming into the game they hadn't seen anybody as quick as Dexter McClusker on film, and now they've got to see it up close and personal.
86 yards for Dexter McClusker. That's the longest run from scrimmage this year. Previous long was 79 yards against Auburn. Jevan Snead just could watch.
I'll tell you what, if you're Nathan Stanley and you come in and you're always one snap away as the backup quarterback, Jevan Snead, after that big hit, not able to get back in the lineup. Boy, it sure is nice to be able to have a guy like Dexter McClusker behind you to just turn around and hand the ball to.
Johnny Thomas is back deep for OSU. Kicking off for Ole Miss will be Andrew Ritter. Shocked by that 86-yard sprint by Dexter McClusker to put Ole Miss ahead 7-0. They are the defending Cotton Bowl champions. They beat Texas Tech last year. It's a better kick from the 3. Johnny Thomas taken down. Good coverage by Ole Miss at about the 23-yard line. Let's look at that touchdown run by Dexter McClusker again.
There it goes to the outside. You've got Markel Martin, who's up the field way too quickly. Number 10, there he is. Now he's in the chase position. If we're talking about inside out, and we're talking about outside in, and we're talking about forcing number 22 back inside, the last thing you want to do is get way upfield, and that's exactly what Markel Martin did. And Dexter McClusker is underneath him and on the sideline very quickly.
Russell Okung is the All-America. Tackle for Oklahoma State. Here's the option. And there's Kendall Hunter. Near first down yardage. Not quite.
And you know what maybe happened to Alan Walker is maybe he was just a little bit frustrated having to go up against Russell Okung all afternoon, because watch what he does right here on the next play to Lamar Brumfield. He gets him and walks him 5 yards downfield and puts him on his back.
Kendall Hunter breaks inside run past midfield, just barely, just across the 50. And Oklahoma State seems to have settled into, hey, we can't throw it too well, let's run it a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Now what we're seeing is offensive coordinator Gunnar Brewer changing up the pace of play, taking that tempo at different spots, real quick on one snap and slow on another.
Second time they've had trouble with the exchange between the center and the quarterback.
Yeah, that shouldn't be happening right now. We shouldn't we shouldn't have issues with the QB center exchange. And on that one, it looked like Zach Robinson just had the point of the ball. He wasn't getting it in the thick part of the football. He got it up near the point.
Andrew Lewis is the center. Very bright. I had the opportunity to sit next to him at lunch the other day. I was out of my class.
Now trying to figure out how those guys get 3 degrees when they go to college. I could only get 1. Barely got that.
Incomplete. Robinson tried to lay it up for Justin Blackman. Did lay it up.
Yeah, he almost served it up, Pat. I mean, I don't understand what both of these quarterbacks are seeing. You know, you don't want to get into a jump ball situation in the field of play. And that's really all that was right there. Justin Blackman was just in a jump ball situation. I'm going to throw it up high. You go up and get it.
He was in a battle with Cassius Vaughn. Zach Robinson from the spread. Option play left. Zach finally pitches it to Kendall Hunter, but he was a little too close to him.
Well, Pat, you know, I think he gave it up a little bit too soon, too. There was nothing that pressured Zach Robinson into a pitch decision. I mean, turn the corner with your running back, stay in pitch relationship, and then continue down the field until somebody forces the decision to pitch. And Zach Robinson could have kept that ball for another 5-6 yards.
Marche Green is back to accept the punt from Quinn Sharp. Unless he hits another one of those rockets. Marche Green at the 17. And some room. To about the 23 where he's brought down. Good coverage by Oklahoma State. Bo Johnson. Here's our GMC May the Best Truck Win game summary.
Well, it has been all Ole Miss right now. They have been able to get into that rhythm. They've hit the big play, the 86-yard touchdown run by Dexter McClusker. OSU knew coming into the game they couldn't let him get on the edge. He has us on a couple of occasions, and the OSU offense has just not been able to get in any type of rhythm right now. We're at 40 plays for Ole Miss, only 21 plays for Oklahoma State.
5 3-and-outs they've had so far. Zach Robinson frustrated. He got press on under his eyes in the eye patch. That is due to the respect for his grandfather. Snead to Jevan. Pass complete. 8 yards pickup.
Didn't get out of bounds, so clock's still running.
Ole Miss has 1 timeout left. Houston Nutt has the reputation. He's very popular with the players. A player's coach. I was always a little bit wary of that. But in Houston's case, I can understand. Jesse Grandy made the reception. Pass from Snead.
There's some good defense by Oklahoma State right there. You got Jesse Grandy, your other fast guy, out on the perimeter with the football in his hand, and just good leverage play by Oklahoma State. There they forced Jesse back inside where Pursuit could come up and make the tackle.
Jevan Snead. He hasn't decided yet whether or not he's going to go for the NFL draft. In an erratic season. Here's straight ahead McClusker again. Rodney Scott, I beg your pardon, not McClusker.
Scott will carry first down, Ole Miss.
Move the chains and stop the clock for a second or two. Now it reruns. Here's Snead. To the wrong folks. Andre Sexton comes up with the interception. The first one wasn't Snead's fault.
That
Maybe
one
this one was.
Yeah, here's Dexter McClusker on the other side of the field again, matched up with a linebacker. Now they're going to play him pretty well. But what happens there that you saw him just a little bit, Brandon Bolden coming out. Now you've got Patrick Levine in a tough spot. He's got McClusker outside. He's got Brandon Bolden inside. But Jevan Snead goes play side. And I don't know what he was seeing. I saw Andre Sexton standing right in front of Lionel Bro.
First and 10 with 20 seconds left. Zach Robinson throws incomplete, almost caught at the end of the pass after it was deflected at first. Josh Cooper almost came up with the reception, but the ball bounced away.
Johnny Brown almost able to get that interception back for Ole Miss. Both quarterbacks really struggling here in the first half to get into any type of rhythm. The difference in the game has been Dexter McClusker for Ole Miss.
That's the big difference. Zach Robinson back to throw. He's going to take off with it. Knocked out of bounds. First down, OSU.
And that's the concern the defensive coordinator Tyrone Nix had about Zach Robinson. You have a quarterback who can run the option, that can throw the ball, so he can pull up at any time and get into a play action option passing situation. And when he drops back, his ability to extend the play with his legs and scrambling for first downs. A dual threat in both situations.
Zach Robinson back again. First and 10. Here he is to throw this time. Now he has to pull it down, and it's going to take off and loses the ball and almost recovers.
Time ran out, though. He got lucky, Pat.
Juwan Scott made the recovery. That's the end of the half. With the score, Ole Miss 7, Oklahoma State nothing. Chris Devoto will be along with the Reese's halftime show from here at Cowboys Stadium in Arlington right after these messages. Halftime at the AT&T 74th Cotton Bowl in a new stadium this time. The old Cotton Bowl still exists. It still stands as a stadium, but the Classic has moved here. If you look at the bands coming off the field, are you surprised, Darrell, that there has been so much lack of offense?
You know, I really am. I thought that both offenses would have come out and been able to move the ball effectively, just like Thurman Thomas felt. Really what has happened is it's been the Dexter McClusker show. Ole Miss has 250+ yards of offense, but if you take away Dexter McClusker, he's got 174. We're sitting at 83 yards for Ole Miss and just 73 for Oklahoma State. So we're talking about one guy really changing the complexion of this game right now.
Well, let's go back for a moment and look at the longest run in Cotton Bowl history, that the famous one by number 47 of Rice, Dickie Magle.
It looks eerily similar to what we saw Dexter McClusker do in that first half, getting to the outside on the defensive left, offensive right side of the field.
You saw Tommy Lewis of Alabama come off the bench and tackle Dickie Magle.
And here's our version of it. Unfortunately for Oklahoma State, nobody came off the bench and tackled Dexter McClusker, so this one went in for 86 yards and a touchdown. You see there the second longest touchdown run in Cotton Bowl history, the longest run in the career for Dexter McClusker. So you know, he's really the difference. And really, if you're an Oklahoma State fan, what do you say right now? Well, your team got really outplayed in the first half. If we can find some way to stop this guy, we got a shot.
Let's quickly go to Shepard Smith, who has Ole Miss coach Houston Nutt.
Thanks. I'm with the Ole Miss coach Houston Nutt, who's just coming out of the lock. Man, Jevan Snead took a big hit, Coach. How is he?
He's a little bruised right now, but he's fighting through it. But right now, we're going to start out with Nathan Stanley.
Good deal. Dexter McClusker, what a run.
He's a phenomenal person, phenomenal back, big-time player. We got to keep pumping that ball to him.
Coach, a lot of offense, but not a lot of points. What's your plan?
Messed up right here. We should have got that ball in. It should be 14-0. Hey, take care of the ball, number one. Can't not turn the ball over.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you now. Appreciate it.
All right, back to you guys in the booth. Houston Nutt and the Ole Miss Rebels.
Back-to-back champions is what he's hoping he'll be, as they won last year over Texas Tech.
They better get him stretched out, get him ready to go here in the second half. It was all Dexter McClusker in the first half. And it's amazing that you can come into a game with a plan, knowing exactly what you have to do to slow down Ole Miss's most potent offensive weapon, and he just takes control of the first half.
It's been 35 days since either one of these teams played football, and it shows.
Well, you're going to get one of two results. You're either going to get what you saw from Florida last night, which is a well-oiled machine after all that practice time, or you could have a couple of sluggish outings. What we've had here today, both of these offenses not kind of functioning at full capacity in the first half.
Kendall Hunter downs the second half kickoff in the end zone, and so OSU will start from the 20.
Well, you take a look at these first half stats, and Houston, that's exactly right. You can't do the turnovers. These Ram stats will show you 57 yards of offense by Ole Miss, but remember, 174 of that is Dexter McClusker running and receiving. So you're really down at 83 for Ole Miss and 73 for OSU if you can just find some way to slow down Dexter.
Jevan Snead took that big hit and had to go to the sideline, and Houston Nutt, you heard him say a minute ago that he's not going to start the second half. This is Zach Robinson with the option. The option to Kendall Hunter is stopped for just about no gain by Patrick Trahan.
Well, here's that option again. You're going to come out and see if we can get this going. But I want you to watch Zach Robinson, and then as he goes and he presses to Patrick Trahan, number 7. He's got to carry it farther. He lets Patrick Trahan play both him and Kendall Hunter.
And that's not the way to run the option. Zach Robinson incomplete to Josh Cooper, the intended target. He had it and lost it.
It has been a long drought for this Oklahoma State Cowboys offense. You see right there, 6+ quarters going all the way back to November 9th versus Colorado. And one of the reasons is just what we saw in that last play. Somebody's got to step up and do something positive, get some momentum. Josh Cooper with an opportunity for the first down, can't make that catch.
Zach Robinson back in the spread formation, will take the direct snap. Going to throw and does throw outside. And quickly up to force the play is Keith Toasted. Beg your pardon.
Well, you get yourself into those third and long situations, you're going to dump it out there to Keith Tosin out in the flat, but Tyrone Nix's defense, they're going to rally to the ball. That's a long way to run with all that pursuit coming inside out.
Quinn Sharp back to punt it for OSU. Marche Green deep for the Ole Miss Rebels. Ole Miss put the pressure on to try to
I'm going to go back and take a look at this punt formation again. Okay, you've got Gerald Poe right here in the middle. Now watch. Somebody needs to get a hand on that guy. How would you like to be the person 8 yards back with 360 coming right at you and trying to stop that guy? I think I walk over to the sideline and say, hey, coach, we got to come up with a better formation on this punting thing.
He's the only guy coming, but he's a big one. Woo. 2nd and 10 for Ole Miss. Incomplete. Shea Hodge, the intended receiver.
There's just been too many missed opportunities right now for Ole Miss. We can go back to that opening drive. They had an opportunity with a play over the top to hit something big early in this game. And then we had the long drive, the 16-play drive that didn't net any points. We had the missed field goal on the last drive. So the longer you let this Oklahoma State team hang around, the harder it's going to be for you in the fourth quarter. These fans are getting up to see if this defense can make a play, give their offense some good field position.
Out of the shotgun. The freshman quarterback looking for a place to go. Pass is picked off. Intercepted by Sexton. And Sexton all the way down to the 10-yard line. Just one too many times.
You talk about somebody reading the quarterback's eyes, Pat. Andre Sexton just stood. He drew a line in the sand right about the first down marker, and he just read the eyes of Nathan Stanley. Watching him, watching him, watching him.
Ineligible downfield. That penalty is declined. First down.
They had an ineligible man downfield, did Ole Miss, but that penalty obviously has to be declined. The eyes of a freshman.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The eyes of a freshman who didn't see one of the best players on this Oklahoma State defensive unit right in front of him. 51 games he's started. 51 games in his career at Oklahoma State. That is impressive.
That's amazing. 1st and 10, Oklahoma State. They're at the Ole Miss 12-yard line. On first down, Robinson's going to throw it and does throw it to Bo Johnson, who's the 3rd running back that they're very proud of.
Be smart with the ball, Zach. Your defense is just giving you great field position. You've got an opportunity to really test the mettle of this Ole Miss team. They have outplayed you the entire game up to this point, and you're about ready to tie it up. Be smart with the football.
2nd and 7. Play clock. And the pass is incomplete. Pass interference. The flags come flying. Hubert Anyam was the intended receiver. And let's see what happened.
Pass interference. Number 24 of the defense. Penalty places the ball at the 2-yard line from the previous spot. That's an automatic first down.
Automatic first down. Let's look at it again.
Well, we've seen him allow some good physical play on the outside. Let's see here. Cassius Vaughn kind of coming through the back of Hubert Anyam. And there's another one of Mike Gundy's next man guys. I mean, 3 of their wide receivers are lost back in the spring. Then you have the suspension to Des Bryant during the course of the year. They needed some of these young guys to step up, and Hubert Anyam has been one of the guys to step up the biggest.
At the 2. 1st and goal. Tostin tries to reach out with the football, but he'll be down before that. You got to figure Tostin in situations like this. He's the bigger back. Mike Gundy calling the plays from the sideline, and here's Tostin again. And this time he gets near the goal line but doesn't make it. Down at about the 1.
Good job by the Ole Miss defense being ready for that quick snap. They had their eyes on the Oklahoma State huddle. They came up and tried to quick snap them, but they were ready.
Tackled by Johnny Brown. And again,
coming out of that kind of goal line personnel, now you're bringing in Kendall Hunter to go along with Keith Tostin. DeMarcus Connor, you open this formation up a little bit.
Here it is with the Wildcat, or the spread formation. Tostin, the jump throw perfected by Tim Tebow, or seen by the Florida quarterback so many times. Wilson Yeoman made the reception. Zach Robinson was a flanker on that play, and there's a flag on the play.
That could be unnecessary roughness after the catch.
After the touchdown, there was a dead ball, personal foul, number 20 of the defense. That penalty will be administered on the succeeding kickoff. The result of the play is a touchdown.
The touchdown stands, the extra point to tie it. That's good, and we have a tie. OSU 7, Ole Miss 7.
Here's that jump pass again. You get into the Wildcat formation. You're thinking Keith Tosin is coming. That looks like something you see on the basketball court.
Yes, it does. Back at the 74th Cotton Bowl in Arlington, Texas, at the Cowboys Stadium, which, if you haven't seen it, you owe it to yourself to see it.
It is a beautiful facility. And you know what we have right now, Pat? We have kind of a microcosm of both of these teams' seasons.
Yep.
I mean, they have faced adversity all year long, injuries, you know, tough losses, and they've fought, they've battled, they've earned the right to be here at the AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic. And it's kind of how this game has gone. You know, Oklahoma State has not played well at all. It's Andre Sexton in their defense. It gives them the short field. They get the touchdown. And Ole Miss, that's really dominated the game, you know, from the start up until this point, find themselves tied at 7-7 right now. I'm really, really anxious to see the response of both of these teams.
Sharp to kick off, and it's a good kick. Deep into the end zone, out of the end zone. Over everything. They'll start from the 20. Look at this. Ball control. Oklahoma State's run 34 plays. Ole Miss 50. Scores tied at 7. Jevan Snead is back at quarterback for Ole Miss. Snead gives to McClusker, who gets outside the 30, is outside the 25, near first down yardage. Booker brought him down, but they've gotten off the goal line after that goal line stand. That big pass completion from Snead to Hodge, and then the run by McClusker. Got 8 yards. Jevan Snead is now out on the flank, as this is McClusker. Out of the wild rebel. Direct snap to him.
Well, we all know about his speed. We saw evidence of that in the first half on that 86-yard touchdown run, but I'm continually impressed with his toughness.
Yeah.
I mean, he plays a lot bigger than 170 pounds.
113 is what he weighed as a freshman in high school. You wouldn't think he'd ever play football. Again, Andre Sexton on the stop. That's the end of the third quarter, with the score tied at 7. There had been goal line stands by both teams, and we have a tie. There's the guy that built the stadium, Jerry Jones, looking on. His team, the Cowboys, play here tomorrow against Philadelphia.
Well, from our perspective, Pat, I'm going to add hospitality to Mr. Kiefer's assessment of this game too.
Yeah.
The Cotton Bowl committee and everybody, all the volunteers during the course of the week have been absolutely fantastic to us.
And to the teams as well. Houston Nutt and Mike Gundy have both commented on the hospitality they've received from the Cotton Bowl committee and the people who surround this game. It's their favorite place to come.
I can see why.
Yep. Little movement before the snap.
False start. 78 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. It's still third down.
Bradley Sowell, the guilty party. That doesn't seem fair, that the only time you mention an offensive lineman's name is when they get called for a penalty. Just doesn't seem right.
We'll make sure we get a good block. We'll get their name out there.
Okay. Jevan Snead. Wow. The ball was snapped before he was ready. But this time he does get the ball and keep it.
I'll tell you, both teams, yeah, right away. They got the coaches coming up, trying to get that straightened out between center De'Veron Gerald's. You're right, Pat. He is not ready. He is in his cadence.
Whoop, there goes the ball. Tyler Campbell will punt for Ole Miss. Josh Cooper deep for Oklahoma State. Oh, this is a dandy. Hung high, almost hit the scoreboard. Fair catch signal made by Josh Cooper. Robinson throws complete to Blackman. About 8 yards. Quick count. Flag is thrown. Ole Miss recovers a fumble. As on the quick count, Lockett recovered it.
Shift on the offense. 2 men in motion. Failure to set before the snap. That penalty is declined. It is a first down.
So again, the mishandled snap. Either too soon or too late or whatever.
Well, Mike Gundy's got to be so frustrated with his guys right now, because what it is it's fundamentals. We've got quarterback center exchanges. We've got poor tackling. We've got poor contain. And it seemed like Zach Robinson was getting ready for it. I don't know. It might have come a little bit sooner, but I did not think I would see fundamental breakdowns like we have seen from either one of these two teams this afternoon. They're too well coached to play like this.
First down, Ole Miss. Snead to throw it, and throws complete to Lionel Bro. Not enough for first down, but about 8.5. Snead is back deep again. Hands to McClusker, who's wrestled to the ground. It'll bring up a third down and about the same distance.
Patrick Levine has made some nice plays moving from the inside out on Dexter McClusker, showing his athletic ability from that linebacker spot. There's been a couple times where it looked like Dexter was going to be able to get on the edge and turn the corner, and Patrick Levine has been able to chase him down.
Seven tie, 5:25 left to play. Here's Snead. Going to take off. Got a first down. I'm surprised he took off after that hit he took in the first half.
That's one of the things I like about him, Pat. He's a tough kid, and it's been a difficult year for him. You mentioned earlier that he's probably debating, do I come back for my senior year? Do I go into the draft? I really think he should come back for his senior year. He has not played up to the level that he felt he could have played this year. He's done a good job. You know, Ken Austin had some nice things to say. He said, you know what? He's gotten better in both things. He's handled the success a little bit better, and he's responded to criticism a little better.
McClusker on the handoff from Snead. Donald Booker made the stop. Got 3 or 4 nevertheless. 2nd and 7. Clock and time becomes a factor. OSU 7, Ole Miss 7. Snead back to throw it. Fires downfield. Pass incomplete. Flag on the play. It's going to be pass interference. Shea Hodge, the intended receiver. But this is going to be a break for Ole Miss.
Well, there's an example of the arm strength of Jevan Snead on the move. That's a heck of a throw. Fans already responding to the replay up on the replay boards here in the stadium.
Pass interference, number 10 on the defense. Penalty places the ball at the 2-yard line.
Markel Martin called for pass interference.
All right, let's take a look. There's Shea Hodge up at the top, working right on the goal line. He's there a little bit early. He's there a little bit early. It's a good call. Only a half a second, but he was there early.
First and goal, Ole Miss. This is the Wildcat, the Wild Rebel, and Dexter McClusker scores the touchdown that puts Ole Miss ahead. From the Wild Rebel.
I don't know if they've been holding this one in their pocket the whole game, but when we've gotten into the Wild Rebel, Dexter McClusker has usually been a between the tackle runner. Look where this one goes, right away with a wing to his left. OSU is outflanked already. They've lost contain right away. Almost pre-snap they lost contain.
Ole Miss 13, OSU 7. 4 minutes left. Sheen for the extra point. This one is good. 14-7. It took a long time in a lot of different ways, but Ole Miss finally goes ahead. Ole Miss 14, OSU 7. Dexter McClusker has carried the ball 32 times. That's a Cotton Bowl record. He set that record on the touchdown run, his second of the day. It's 14-7. What else can he do? Kendall Hunter returns the kick. Out to about the 25.
Well, let's go back to last year, Pat. A little bit of deja vu right here. This looks eerily familiar, huh?
Yes,
Dexter McClusker going in for the touchdown. And here he is again to finish that last drive. And I think really all we're waiting to find out now is who wins this game. If Ole Miss wins this game, if they hold on and win this game, we might have a little bit more deja vu with Dexter McClusker going back-to-back MVPs at the AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic. He would be the first person since Doak Walker back in 1948 and 49.
Penalty marker down. Kendall Hunter was the ball carrier. 3 minutes 51 seconds left to play. Holding against
10-yard penalty. Repeat first
Noah
down.
Franklin is the culprit this time. Dexter McClusker, when we were talking to him the other day, said all I want is the ball. 32 times he's had it. 2 touchdowns. He's been just about the whole show.
Yeah, he really has. 32 carries, 5 catches, so he's got 37 touches during the course of the game. And we were wondering, when both Ken Austin and Houston Nutt said we'd like to get him the ball around 20 times. He had 20 in the first half. If I had Dexter McClusker on my team, I'd be shooting for more around 28, 30.
I'd make sure he got the ball a bunch. Here's Robinson. Stays on his feet. Finally throws it. Backhands it. There was a receiver in the area, so I doubt they'll call intentional grounding. That's what Houston Nutt is complaining about.
I got to get their defense lined up right now. OSU's ready to go.
There was the Cotton Bowl trophy that goes to the winner of this game, the AT&T trophy. Pass complete, and the fumble is picked up by Ole Miss. Trahan picked up the fumble and scored and put Ole Miss ahead 20-7. What else can happen?
We've been waiting for somebody to step up and make a play today, and that's what Hubert Anyum was trying to do. Just some good contact right there. Patrick Trahan scoops and scores for Ole Miss.
We have unsportsmanlike on the offense after the touchdown for calling attention to oneself. That penalty will be administered 15 yards on the succeeding kickoff. Result of the play is a touchdown.
Calling attention to oneself.
I like that. I think we should take that penalty around to all levels of football. If it's the ultimate team sport, we can't be calling attention to oneself.
Joshua Sheen for the extra point. And it's good. And it's 21-7. All of a sudden, after the long dry spell, nothing happened. Then the fireworks went off. 21-7. Ole Miss leads Oklahoma State. Back at the 74th Cotton Bowl, after no excitement for a long period of time, all of a sudden things happen. Ole Miss 21, OSU 7.
That game sat there for an awful long time for somebody to take control of, Pat, and Ole Miss finally did it with their offense and their defense.
Notice they're kicking off from the 15-yard line.
That's what happens when you call attention to oneself.
Right. Andrew Ritter to kick it off. Handled by Kendall Hunter. To the 40. To about the 43. And that's where Oklahoma State will start from.
It's a nice play. Here's going to be your key. Fawn Ingram, number 35. Hubert Anyam's going to come in from the right side on a little dig route. Good throw and catch as he starts to extend. That ball gets a little loose. Fawn Ingram with the big hit. And then Patrick Trahan scoops, gets a couple of blocks out in front.
This, by the way, is the third Cotton Bowl for Trahan. He was at Auburn 3 years ago, transferred, played the last 2 years at Ole Miss. Let's right now go to Shepard Smith.
You know, actually, Pat, when he was at Auburn and played in this Cotton Bowl as a freshman, and he blocked a punt for Auburn in that game, and it turned out that in the end, that may have saved it for Auburn. Then he transferred over to Northwest Mississippi Junior College, then ended up at Ole Miss, and he just won the game for Ole Miss again. I mean, if you got to give an MVP to a Rebel, you know it's Dexter McClusker, but man, that was hot.
The substitution, the 12th player was running off the field against the defense, 5 yards previous spot. Repeat, first down.
What else can happen? There have been 10 turnovers in this game. 10 turnovers. 5 by Oklahoma State, 5 by Ole Miss.
We still got a few more to go for the record, though, Pat.
Yep.
We had 13 back in 1942. Alabama beat Texas A&M 29-21. 13 turnovers.
Incomplete. Zach Robinson fired just before he went out of bounds, and the throw did go out of bounds. Mike Gundy, who's done such an outstanding job with this OSU football team. Nice guy.
He is, both of them, both Houston Nutt and Mike Gundy. Great coaches, doing a great job with these programs, and we talked about it at the top. There was a lot at stake for both of these teams. Obviously, Ole Miss wanting to be back-to-back Cotton Bowl champions, an opportunity to have back-to-back 9-win seasons. Oklahoma State had some big things to go for today, too. They had an opportunity to tie the school record with a 10-win season. Hadn't done that since 1988, so it's been a tough year for both these teams, and we talked about it. It was going to be disappointing for one of them to lose this game because we had so much respect for them, how hard they have fought throughout the year to get to this point this afternoon.
Blackman caught that last pass. This is Zach Robinson. Hit just as he let it go, and the pass was deflected. No harm done, except maybe to the back of Zach Robinson.
Yeah, I have to ask Zach about that. That is a nice looking trophy.
Yes, it is. Who's your vote for the MVP?
I think it's
yeah,
hands down Dexter McClusker.
Has to be.
especially when you knew that Oklahoma State was going to gear their defense towards stopping him, and still he had the kind of afternoon that he did.
Zach Robinson fires down the middle. It's intercepted. Patrick Trahan again makes the interception. He might be rivaling Dexter McClusker for the MVP award.
Maybe we can work something out for Shepard. We can get like an MVP and then kind of like a lunchbox player award for the guy that.
Less than 2 minutes left now.
We've got the offensive and defensive MVPs of this game.
Right.
It looks like it could be Patrick Trahan defensively for Ole Miss and Dexter McClusker on offense. I don't know. You know another guy. I know he's not on the winning team, but I sure did like the way Donald Booker played today.
Yep. Well, you have to like that. Jevan Snead hands off. Today's 74th AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic was produced by Larry Lancaster, directed by Derek Manning. Our technical producer is Peter Chalveras. Thanks also to Associate Director Kathy Hunt, Associate Producer Brian Biederman, Broadcast Associate Matt Saldana. Senior producers of Fox Sports is Bill Brown. The executive producer of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. We also wish to extend thanks to Rick Baker, Kathy Saunders, and all the great people here at the AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic for a fantastic week here in the Metroplex.
Here, here.
Plus the staffs of OSU and Ole Miss, headed by Kevin Clintworth and Langston Rogers.
Flag was thrown for a face mask. However, it was not a personal foul. There is no foul. It is third down.
I need a better explanation. That sounds like you can face mask somebody on third down.
Yeah, it does.
I didn't know that rule.
I didn't mean to do it.
It was third down. They're legal there.
A minute left. 3rd and 4. Jevan Snead, who took a vicious hit in the first half and came back to play better in the second half. Hands off to McClusker. McClusker is taken down by the neck and head by Donald Booker.
Well, we've given our votes for our offensive and defensive MVPs, but I'd like to give a little nod to Jevan Snead because it's been a tough season. It was a tough start for him today. He hung in there. He came back in, made some real nice throws late in the third quarter into the fourth quarter. Got this offense rolling. I'll be interested to see what his decision is.
I think he'll stay.
I think he should. I think he should come back. And he's going to have some youth. There's going to be some big changes that'll happen. I mean, his offensive line, he's going to lose guard, center, guard. He's not going to have Dexter McClusker. But this is a great program. You've heard Shepard Smith talk about what they've done down at the university with the facilities. You're going to be able to attract some really good recruits. If I'm Jevan Snead, I take my last year, my senior year, I enjoy the college experience. And I follow the lines of what Kentrell Lockett said. He said he wants to come out on senior day. He wants to be introduced. He wants his mom and dad to experience that. Get the full experience. You've got a lot of things to measure with the NFL and a potential rookie salary cap, but I tell you what, I would never have thought of leaving college early. I enjoyed that time. It was one of my favorite parts of my life.
Tyler Campbell back to punt. They try to block it, but don't get there. Fair catch signal. Flag on the play.
The kicker was blocked into the receiver by a teammate of the receiver. Therefore, there is no foul.
Must mean the kick returner. Houston Nutt victorious for the 2nd year in a row, gets the Gatorade bath.
I don't know if he enjoyed that very much.
I don't think he did. Somebody gave him a towel. He's a terrific guy.
He is. He is. They both are. They both are.
The pass is incomplete. Clock stops at 26 seconds left to play. What about Zach Robinson? What do you think of his future?
It'll be interesting to see what happens. You know, I think he'll definitely get a shot. You know, he's been too good. I mean, his numbers are very, very impressive. And you know, I think you have to take a look at a guy like that. He's definitely got the body frame that he could fill out a little bit more. He makes some good throws. And again, remember, we've got this shift going on in the NFL where the athletic quarterback has more opportunities than he did 10 years ago. So I think Zach Robinson will get a shot to get onto a roster in the NFL and go into camp. And it's just a question of what he's going to do with that opportunity.
Remember, he lost his top flight receiver during the year when Bryant got into problems with the NCAA and was suspended.
Yeah, he carried this team by himself for quite a while. No Des Bryant. Kendall Hunter was out with that injury for a long time early on in the season. So Zach Robinson did a heck of a job kind of picking up this offense and putting it on his shoulders.
Keith Tosin just improved his average with that last run. The Ole Miss players were sort of looking at him run. Here's Robinson back to throw and going all out to the end zone. Intercepted on the last play of the game, and that's Ingram, who will just kneel and let the time run out. That's the 12th turnover in this game. That one means very little, but
well, I think for both of these teams, if you talk to Houston Nutt, if you talk to Mike Gundy, they're going to be disappointed that they didn't come out and have their best opportunities to come out and perform at the AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic. A lot of these seniors are going to walk out for Oklahoma State with a little bit of a bitter taste, but they shouldn't. They've done a great job. 4 consecutive bowl games. They've gotten Oklahoma State back on the national map. They're going to be a team to watch for in the Big 12. And the same for Ole Miss. Houston Nutt has done a tremendous job. And when you talk to his players, you know, the fact that he's made football fun again. Football is not an easy sport to play. It is very demanding. It is very physical. And if you're not having fun, you're never going to be as good as you could be. And Houston Nutt has brought that back to Ole Miss. He's made it fun again. And every player we talked to, it was one of the first things that they mentioned is we are so happy to have him here because it's fun again. You know, it was not fun until Houston got here.
Well, at Oklahoma State, the same could be said. Their facilities are unmatched, mostly due to the contributions of one Boone Pickens. But it's fun at OSU as well.
Absolutely. The sense of family, great facilities, and they have fun playing football. Tough combination to beat.
We'll be back in about 10 or 15 seconds. Right now, we say so long. The final score, Ole Miss 21, Oklahoma State 7. The presentation of the Cotton Bowl trophy, which is in the middle of that picture, momentarily coming our way. Let's go down. Let's go down to Chris Devoda.
Let's get a few words with Coach Nutt. I'm sure in this game there were many times you were over there shaking your head, but your players did what they've done all year, overcome obstacles.
I shook my head all day. I didn't know if we was going to score a point, but that defense was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But our guys know it's team, and everybody's fought hard. Oklahoma State, let's give them a lot of credit. They have a very good team. Really proud of Mike Gundy and his squad. They did a great job. But I really appreciate the AT&T Cotton Bowl. It's one of the best bowls in America.
Well, it's stoic goal line defense. It was turnovers, recoveries, but you also had a big offensive output from your star, Dexter McClusker.
Dexter McClusker is a special, special person. Tremendous athlete and can play.
And I don't know where Dexter is in this mess down here, but we do have our brand new championship trophy. It already has lip prints from defensive backs Kendrick Lewis and Marshall Green. The first thing they did was come over to kiss the new era of the Cotton Bowl trophy. For the second year in a row, the Ole Miss Rebels are victorious. Pat?
For Darrell Johnson, Chris Devoda, and Shepard Smith, this is Pat Summerall saying so long from Arlington, Texas, where Ole Miss has defeated Oklahoma State in the 74th AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic. This has been a presentation of Fox Sports, and we'd like to take this chance to wish you, all of you, a Happy New Year. So long from Arlington, Texas.